I mean, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I mean, it's just devastating. This is something you might expect out of Southern California.
And as you can see behind me, the Hilton Wine Country Hotel is actually engulfed in flames right now. You can see the fence is on fire, and behind that, what we think used to be the restaurant here at the Hilton. What's really interesting is, as we've been standing here, we can not only feel the heat from these flames, we're having the debris and the ash come rain down on us because we are so close to this fire, but then also we're hearing these loud booms from inside it burn. And the eeriest part about this is there is not a firefighter in sight. We have not heard a siren, we have not seen a fire truck, nothing. And that is exactly like what we've been talking about all morning. These firefighters
being impacted still by this fire. It still is very dynamic and very active, as you can see.
What are we seeing and hearing right here?
Yeah, so you're seeing some sort of material ignite and burn in there. You're getting a lot of materials that are vaporizing and combusting, gas lines, different materials they may store in the structure, and obviously some explosions occurring as well.
Are we in danger right here? Do we need to start thinking about moving back based on
Good
this?
time to end the interview and step back for a second.
Okay, so guys, sorry about that. We're
This neighborhood. This house is like completely gone. Just on the other side of here are homes that have not been yet touched by fire. The wind is blowing the opposite direction. You see the American flag here.
It's got a wind shift.
It's a wind shift going which direction? East?
Northwest.
What is that popping?
Those are propane tanks. You know, like the 5-gallon propane tanks.
5-gallon propane tanks for camping. Okay. I'm gonna stick with Kent here. The wind is just so powerful, so strong here. Somebody's truck. Somebody's truck is burning. Don't get too close, Kent. Don't get too close. I can't get in there, it's too hot. I'm sorry, I don't have anything about range and russell. This is what was that? That looks like a gas. Hey, Cat, that's a gas line. Let's get out of here.
I was with my wife, drove by around my shop. I saw my truck was already fire, and fire was not coming even close to the building yet. Around my shop, I saw my truck was already fire, and fire was not coming even close to the building yet.
No, we moved, and you got to see this to believe this. I'm going to have Martin pan off to the left. You're looking at a neighborhood that goes block after block after block that is completely and totally and overwhelmingly destroyed. You rarely see anything like this. Now, you come back around this way, Martin. What I want to do is kind of give people again the scape here. Look at the scope of this thing. This is so hard to believe because this was 24 hours ago, this was a neighborhood. There are garbage cans out in the street waiting for pickup. There are cars that were here that people simply didn't have enough people to drive away, and you're looking at a scene that is probably reminiscent of hell.
is at Range and Bicentennial in Santa Rosa. You're right across 101 from the Kaiser Center there, which was evacuated. And I see the devastation behind you.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this. Right behind me, this was part of a trailer park here, and you can sense, and I know you haven't been there long, but from folks starting to come up that they're almost like, what just happened? Like, because there it looks
looks like a calm situation. I mean, weather-wise, it looks a lot calmer than it used to be. But it's almost just like, did that really just happen? And there's nothing there at that location. I think people are kind of how I'm feeling. You just can't believe it. This is like a scene out of a movie when a bomb goes off in your neighborhood, and this is what's left, and you're just lucky that you're standing here to look at it, and that weren't in that fire. I mean, it's just, I can't believe it. I've never seen anything like this.
Out the Bay Area. We begin with Katie Nielsen, who's been live in Santa Rosa all morning long. Katie, you've seen this whole thing unfold right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, Liz, this has actually been probably one of the most terrifying fires I have ever covered.
What the fuck is going on? Because literally the last 24 hours have been so fucking crazy. So if you don't know by now, you're living under a rock. But pretty much, like, I'm from Northern California, the wine country, Sonoma County, and last night, like, literally my whole town caught on fire. I just got back home. Haven't been home in like a good day and a half. I want to explain to you guys what happened because it's so crazy.
Out of the county, the Bennett Valley Union School District, the Mark West Union School District, the Alexander Valley School District, Santa Rosa City Schools, Geyserville, Rincon Valley, Kenwood, Windsor, Healdsburg,
Oh my god.
and Cloverdale. Okay. It could be because my phone's been ringing.
Holy
I
crap.
also will.
Fuck, man, fuck. It's getting worse.
Holy shit. Well, there goes that. Holy fuck, I can't see anything. We gotta get out of here. Oh, drive. Fuck. Drive. Go straight.
Let's go.
Oh my god. There is fucking nothing left.
Emma, you're doing fine. You ever thought that you weren't brave before? You're very, very brave. It's okay, Penny, you're okay, baby. You're okay. Okay, so Aaron, go, please. Go, okay. It's okay, baby. Yes. Yeah, you're okay.
well outrun it, I think. Where are the fire people? As usual, the time before, Emma, I kept calling them, asking them what I should do, and they said they'd come help. And so this is about what they did years ago. Is somebody behind me?
No, the car's on fire. It's on. The alarm is off because it's on fire. It's okay, Penny. Penny, you're a good girl. You're okay. Yeah, it's okay, Penny. It's okay, Penny. Penny, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Wants me to go over here.
It's okay, Penny. It's okay. Penny, you're okay. You're okay. Okay, Penny. Penny, please, Mama, please. Oh my God.
This is the worst.
Okay. We're down now.
Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna stop for.
No, we can't stop. No, please don't stop. We'll light on fire.
He said to straddle in the middle of the road.
We just have to go. It's okay. Penny, you're okay, baby. Okay, Penny. Penny, you're okay. It's okay, Penny. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. It's okay. It's okay, baby.
I think we pretty well outrun it, I think.
Oh my gosh, is that a car on fire? Oh my God, that car is on fire.
Oh boy.
No, we're gonna catch on fire.
Emma, we're gonna be calm. Well, I'm going to wait till this clears a little bit. Don't you think so?
I don't know. I think we just need to go away.
See to the right, this is an image from NASA and JPL, and the areas that you see in yellow and red are the areas that are damaged from the fire. Multitudes of fires. Now let's go to, and just...
We are looking at Santa Rosa, which was a directed energy weapons test. All of these trees. What the hell is going on here? Look at even these little ones. None of them are burned. None of them are burned. So, well, I don't want to do that. Alright, let's go back down here. Let's get rid of all that. So this is the Santa Rosa, nope, gotta use 2 fingers. So this is the Santa Rosa fire. And just tell me how this fire got in here and did this much damage. I mean, literally it melted these buildings down. I mean, it just completely incinerated these buildings. How did it do this with the trees all surrounding this place? You're telling me the heat from this fire was so intense that it burned these things down to the structure. I mean, the structure is all the way burned down. All that's left is this corner.
I mean, I don't understand how anybody could say, I would really like, because I'm not a professional firefighter, but this doesn't seem logical to me.
Seen in my career the totality of the destruction on the structures. There was absolutely nothing left of the structures except foundation. Now, I've seen that with other fires, but not where it moves like that. Not where the fire is moving and one side of the street everything's fine, the other side of the street it looks like a nuclear war zone. Never seen anything like that.
What other options could there be besides a high torch directed energy weapon that you could consider as a possibility in your experiences of all the firefighting you've done?
There's none that I could think of. There's none.
So this is the only plausible explanation that's being presented?
It's the only plausible explanation in my opinion. That's the conclusion that I was brought to based on my almost 30 years of experience.
And you know that steel melts in thousands of degrees and all this, and to see steel bent like that, but have vegetation and plant life and eucalyptus trees.
The holes that were burned through the hoods of cars all the way through the engine block are a little bit suspicious.
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah.
The
holes that were burned through the hoods of cars all the way through the engine block are a little bit suspicious.
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Something very strange, very unique and new has happened. Right. And have you been to tour the areas? Have you looked around?
Not natural phenomena. Unnatural phenomena. Like I said, I've never seen anything like it.
My car, man. Get in my car.
Tell me it's just this neighborhood.
No, it's not. It's the whole hill. Help me.
Zero here in Santa Rosa. Neighbors there telling me that last night it was as if the god of fire had basically come down on them, just throwing balls of fire randomly.
There were reported, hurricane force winds, fire tornadoes in the Covey Park area. There were things that really shocked us the next morning looking at that. There were things that really shocked us the next morning looking at that, where there was a vehicle upside down, 100 feet into Covey Park.
God damn it, dude. Go! Get in my car, man.
What about all these houses being done here? They cleared.
All these are cleared.
Okay, what about this one?
That one's cleared, not these.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me buckle you, sir. I'm glad we found you. Your whole street's on fire right now. Okay, guys. This is a little too close for me.
All of Santa Rosa is completely on fire. I'm not shitting you right now. Our house might burn down.
Just get in. We don't have time for shoes. Okay.
What about this truck?
Put her in that car.
Right here.
This is a fucking war zone, dude. When the cops are running away, it's time to turn around. Jesus.
What about all these houses being done here?
Police department.
Oh God, you guys. Sir, put your feet up. Help him out, please. Jesus Christ.
It's like life and death right now, okay?
And then also right down below the Hilton is the Fountain Grove Inn Hotel that has also been leveled by this fire. This was, by all accounts, an absolute firestorm, driven by those powerful winds.
Utter confusion here as these cars have been left sort of in the middle of the street. They've been melted down to nothing. Even the tires have melted off this car that's sitting right here, left in the middle of the street, of course. And as we move to the middle, we notice something that was kind of strange here. It's a boat. It's a boat and a car that's been flipped over. How did this happen? It's so hard to explain some of these things.
And there was no other way out. This would have effectively been a roadblock. That's a car upside down.
I just want to put together videos, pictures.
Lasers, nothing I've ever seen before. And it goes down. And in Potter Valley, I saw blue streaks like flares. I live in Santa Rosa, west of 3rd, and I saw blue light. I live in Santa Rosa, Indian Valley. I saw blue lightning. And it continues on. I have pages and pages of this, folks.
The inside. This is up at the Carr Fire, which is already entered Redding, California. And look, we saw this phenomenon in the Santa Rosa fires.
Loud in here, but I play with fire all the time. I work with fire. Glass. Look how long it's taking the flame to melt this glass. The fires in California, something's up with that. I'm gonna line up some video to add on to the end of this and tell me what you think.
Trees out here burned, but the cars out here is burned. If this tree is still intact, that's a pine tree. It should be totally gone. Pine trees. Trees that are still standing. With this kind of heat and destruction to completely melt a home, something is amiss. You can Google this stuff up and check it for yourself, but I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Yes, you do see trees burned around near the houses. Never seen anything like it.
So the recent California fires are very strange and suspect, to say the least. We have specific areas being burned, like energy was being directed at certain things. In drone footage of the aftermath, we see houses completely obliterated and turned to ash while the surrounding landscapes and trees are totally fine. Here is a clip courtesy of Serbian Conspiracy. I'll put a link in the description. You'll notice here that stores and restaurants are wiped out while other things are still in perfect shape. Other buildings are fine, trees are untouched, but specific structures are just devastated. You gotta ask yourself, what's up with that? How did the fires get to these certain buildings but the surrounding areas, including the parking lot, look normal? Is this the result of direct energy weapons? Ranged weapons that inflict damage on a target by emitting highly focused energy? The answer is most likely yes. But most people believe that these kind of weapons are just science fiction. But in reality, these direct energy weapons are admitted to be real and are documented.
The forest didn't burn here. All the glass melted. All the structural materials that used to be a house have disappeared. They have disappeared. You have a couple of bent poles here, a couple of poles that are bent, but you have absolutely no materials. The houses have not fallen. The houses have disappeared. The materials of these contents of these houses are gone. Let's listen to what they have to say here. She's going to talk a little bit about it. Well, first, let's go here. I want to show you where these fires are. Because if you're like me, you didn't know that there were 14 separate fires. How did 14 separate fires start over such a wide area? You guys, this isn't normal. This is not how it works. These homes didn't fall. These homes didn't burn. These homes disappeared. There's nothing left.
But the house is burning. this car is completely burned up, but the tree is not burning any longer. House is on fire, vegetation, not burned, hardly burned.
And it always breaks our heart when we can't get everybody out.
Kind of what people are calling a weather phenomenon or an anomaly where an actual possible vortex came through here. And that's literally fire behavior that we have not experienced or seen or witnessed.
Have the resources you need given the unprecedented and unrelenting nature of these fires?
With Click, you can transform every area.
By Olive Park. I'll do it. Would that be nearby me? We'll do an odor investigation. What's the smell? Chemical smell? Yeah, it smells like there's styrofoam burning. Okay. But it's not my house. I just feel like I'm gonna give a heads up. Alright, well, we'll see if we can find out what it is. Thank you so much. Alright, okay. Is it an emergency? Is it a fire? Fire already down the street. What's on fire? I'm a transformer transformer, and it was from one window. Is there a real fire? What's on fire? It looks like a house is on fire at the end. Okay, so you think there's a structure fire down at the end of the street? Yeah, people are running down that way, so I don't know what happened. So are you sure there's a structure fire? Well, there's sparks. There was a big PG pole, and everybody went running down to the end of the street. Okay, at the end of the street? Oh, yeah, there's a lot of people out. I don't know what they're doing now, they're crazy. Alright, we're on our way. Thank you. Fireman, I'll dispatch you on. See exactly what happened. There's a fire outside of our house. What kind of fire is there? It's really, I don't know, we're in a hill with a lot of trees. And when it's close to our house, how close to your house? Okay, the trees are on fire. Okay, I need you to, is there a way for you to evacuate your house? Okay, we're actually, okay, we're leaving. Okay, getting closer to the house. How large is the fire? Can you tell me? No, I'm not sure. I just see really big flames. I think the wire broke off with the wind. Okay, and, okay, be careful, don't touch any wires. Get your family together. Don't contact any wires, okay? Get your family out of there. You have a car, you can drive away. Yeah, don't worry about any belongings. Don't worry about any of your stuff. Get your family out of there, okay? Yes, we're out, babe. Okay, hurry up, okay, really close. Yes, we're hurrying. Okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Okay, there's a fire on Cross Creek. On where, ma'am? Cross Creek Road or Cross Creek Avenue. I'm on Sundown Trail and I can see orange flickering. And I stepped outside and it smells very sick before I'm off of Reedley Road. Okay, we have a structure fire on Markwood Station Road right here. It's not Cross Creek. So I understand where you're calling me from, ma'am, but we do have a large structure fire and you're probably seeing the glow and we're getting a lot of dirt smoke. Okay, but it's a different direction. You realize that, right? Which direction are you looking from your house? But maybe it's just wind. Because we also do have we have a structure fire that's higher up on the hillside, and we have one that's right below you. So I think that's probably what you're seeing. Okay. Not that I'm aware of at this time. If you see something very specific next to your house, call us back. But right now, I do believe you're getting the dirt smoke and seeing the glow from the multiple fires around you, okay? All right. So the fire starts on 101 near Shiloh. There's a WOC here. He's advising that the fire is heading west and it's spreading quickly. It's heading west, so it is on the freeway. Yes, and it's on the west side of the freeway and it's headed towards Connie Lane. Now it's on both sides of the freeway. Okay, thanks. I think the Highway 12 is Nut Canyon Road. Hi, what is the address of the emergency? I'm sorry, there's a fire and I can see a glow and I can smell smoke. How far away are you? I think maybe off of Village Road or Giant Canyon Road. It might be farther back. It's close. It's district property. Is it north of 12 or south of 12? This is on the northeast side of 12. It's a Beltane Ranch. What's the name of the ranch? Beltane Ranch. Beltane Ranch. Okay. We need help. When you needed help, yeah, it's at United Canyon Road. Okay, United Canyon Road is where we need immediate help. Okay. So the fire started on Beltane and it's working its way. I can't see it. It's very near. I need immediate help. Is there fire started? Beltane on United Canyon. I can see it. Okay, listen, man. I'm on the way to you. I'm just trying to
How does Farrington College